WWE's Superstar Betrayals, Best of Mr. Perfect, new GCW dates, fight size. Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel. I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Here is your Fightful fight size update for Friday, September 26th, 2025. Below are all of the biggest digital highlights of the day and the best headlines from the day in wrestling before tonight's episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. In the video embedded above, you can watch Brock Lesnar, Dominic Mysterio, and the Kabuki Warriors and other WWE superstars betray their closest friends and allies. 5 matches WWE can add to Crown Jewel 2025. Crown Jewel is set to be WWE's next big premium live event following WrestlePalooza. After facing major criticism for the last premium live event, Triple H seems to be hell-bent on building a strong card for the upcoming spectacle. Besides, it will be the company's return to Australia in over a year, and fans can expect some blockbuster matches on the show. As of now, WWE has made 3 matches official for Crown Jewel, including the much-awaited showdown between John Cena and AJ Styles. Other than that, Cody Rhodes will take on Seth Rollins and Tiffany Stratton will battle Stephanie Vaquer for the respective Crown Jewel championships. There is still scope for a few more matches to be added to the spectacular event. Here are 5 potential matches WWE can add to Crown Jewel 2025. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu had a wild confrontation on SmackDown this week. The Scottish Warrior was whining about his loss against Cody Rhodes at WrestlePalooza. However, the Samoan Werewolf interrupted him, mocking McIntyre's grumbling attitude. This soon turned into a physical altercation between the two, where Fatu stood tall after hitting Drew with a super kick. What happened on the blue brand indicates that WWE is setting up a fresh feud between the two. With Crown Jewel being the next PLE, this match could be featured on the card. Both Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre are currently in need of a blockbuster storyline on SmackDown. Therefore, Triple H could put the 2 superstars in the spotlight by having them compete in Perth. CM Punk Roman Reigns versus The Vision. CM Punk has been dealing with The Vision since Raw after WrestleMania this year, and he still has unfinished business with the faction. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns is also likely to go after Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed following his return to avenge his Clash in Paris attack. This could compel Punk and Reigns to team up once again to take out their common enemy. WWE has been advertising the OTC for Crown Jewel, indicating that he would be competing in the show. In the past, Roman Reigns and CM Punk's alliance managed to draw massive eyeballs and huge buzz on social media. Therefore, the company might try to recreate the same magic by putting the 2 stars in a tag team match against The Vision at the impending PLE. 3. The Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea Ripley, IYO Sky. This week's episode of Raw saw the shocking heel turn of the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane turned their backs on IYO Sky by unleashing a merciless attack on. The shocking betrayal came after they attacked Rhea Ripley, and the latter ended up being the catalyst for the heel turn. What happened on Raw is expected to lead to a blockbuster tag team feud. Ripley and Sky could team up to battle the Kabuki Warriors in a massive tag team match at Crown Jewel. With the Eradicator being an Aussie, her inclusion in the upcoming spectacle in Perth seems inevitable. Meanwhile, IYO Sky and the Kabuki Warriors' heel turn is currently one of the most compelling things going on in the women's division. Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker. WWE seems to be on a mission to make Crown Jewel a must-watch PLE. Therefore, the company is likely to book matches that carry the credibility to be featured on WrestleMania. One such match that fans believe is a future Mania headliner is Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker. Hence, WWE has all the reasons to book it at the upcoming event in Perth next month. The company has already built a solid dynamic between Breaker and Reigns over the past few months. Additionally, Braun was the one who had a major role in sidelining the OTC at Clash in Paris. Therefore, Roman Reigns returning and targeting the 27-year-old specifically would make sense. A singles match between them can steal the show and become one of the biggest highlights. AJ Lee made her in-ring return at WrestlePalooza, and she is expected to be an active member of the WWE Women's Division. Following her mixed match showdown with Becky Lynch, fans are waiting to see the 2 stars go after each other in a singles showdown. Given the magnitude of this match, WWE might book it for Crown Jewel next month instead of pushing it further. Besides, AJ Lee has already teased her desire to become the Women's Intercontinental Champion upon her return. The former Divas champion going up against big-time Bex for the coveted title would be a sight to see. This match could set the internet abuzz as Lee and Lynch's rivalry could witness another major chapter unfold at Crown Jewel. Roman Reigns. Reportedly set for massive WWE War Games, match Roman Reigns was last seen at Clash in Paris against Bronson Reed. Despite winning the match, the Tribal Chief had to be stretchered out of the arena after Reed and Braun Breaker brutally assaulted him. The OTC's feud with Seth Rollins and his group started back at WrestleMania 41 when Paul Heyman betrayed him and CM Punk to align himself with the Visionary. So far, Reigns hasn't had a match against the World Heavyweight Champion in the current feud, but has been dealing with Breaker and Reed. He partnered with JUSO to take down the Vision members at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns can return for WWE War Games at Survivor Series. The OTC has finished filming for Street Fighter II, where he plays the role of Akuma. However, he is still not advertised for any of the weekly shows. On the other hand, WWE has advertised him on the WWE Survivor Series. War Games' poster, Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, speculated that the Tribal Chief can return for War Games and go up against Seth Rollins and the Vision. Reigns, and the USOs can take on the heel faction. Reigns was to finish filming Street Fighter II this week, so he'll be available to come back. He's scheduled for Survivor Series, which is probably going to be another War Games with Reigns USOs and 2 others against the Vision. The name Rollins group is going by, and 2 others, AHT Ringside News. There is a chance Brock Lesnar has reunited with Paul Heyman and can potentially join Rollins' faction. On the other hand, John Cena can finally have his debut War Games match by joining Roman Reigns and the Usos facepalm. Cody Rhodes reveals hilarious Randy Orton tag team name after SmackDown. Cody Rhodes proposed a possible name for his tag team with his mentor, Randy Orton, in a hilarious fashion. Rhodes and Paul Heyman opened this week's episode of SmackDown in Orlando, Florida. During the segment, the American Nightmare questioned the Oracle's recent reunion with his former longtime client Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza until the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interrupted the proceedings. The 40-year-old then went into Breaker's head by claiming Heyman wasn't loyal to him anyway, which led to a brawl between the 2 stars and the undisputed WWE Championship. Eventually, the American Nightmare got outnumbered until Randy Orton evened the odds for him. The Apex Predator tried to deliver an RKO to the next big thing but was countered. The signature move then got redirected to the Tribal Thief, and Rhodes took out Breaker to stand tall in the preliminary moments of the show. Afterward, Rhodes entertained the idea of having a tag team name with his friend and longtime mentor. The American Nightmare then came up with a hilarious solution of combining his name and Randy's name to make it Candy, as he posted on X. Check out Cody Rhodes' tag team name, suggestion below. Rhodes successfully defended his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at WrestlePalooza last Saturday in Indianapolis, while Orton's last match came on the September 12th episode of SmackDown, but he lost to McIntyre. Randy Orton could finally turn heel and challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. When the chaos ended between Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Orton picked up the title and took a long, hard look at it. This has been the recurring scenario for months now, when the Viper is coming up to the American Nightmare's aid. Orton has been showing signs of potentially betraying Rhodes to go after his 15th world title reign. It will be interesting to see if WWE will finally pull the trigger on a potential Cody Rhodes-Randy Orton matchup for the richest prize in sports entertainment. 4 directions for Randy Orton following his return on WWE's SmackDown. Randy Orton was away from WWE television for the past 2 weeks after suffering a brutal attack at the hands of Drew McIntyre. However, the Viper made his return on the latest episode of SmackDown. The crowd erupted in a frenzy after he came to save Cody Rhodes from a 2-on-1 situation against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now that Orton is back on SmackDown, fans have been wondering what the future holds for him. The Apex Predator has not been part of any high-profile storylines of late. He has been playing second fiddle to other major stars in recent times. The big question that remains is how WWE's creative head, Triple H, would book the Viper on SmackDown. Here are 4 potential directions for Randy Orton following his recent return: short-term alliance with Cody Rhodes against The Vision. Cody Rhodes is locked in a feud with Seth Rollins and his faction heading into Crown Jewel. However, the American Nightmare has been at a numbers disadvantage. Therefore, Randy Orton could form a short-term alliance with his good friend to tackle The Vision. The fact that he returned to save Rhodes this week indicates that he will remain a part of this feud. The Viper could continue to back the undisputed WWE champion whenever the latter gets into an unfair situation. This could be a perfect way to keep Orton in the spotlight following his recent return. The 14-time world champion could continue to help Cody Rhodes and ensure that the latter heads into his crown jewel match against Seth Rollins at 100%. Feud with Braun Breaker Bronson Reed. Another potential direction for Randy Orton is to start a feud with one of the members of The Vision. The Apex Predator could stick with Cody Rhodes for a while, and WWE could use this as an opportunity to elevate either Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. Orton could start a brief feud with a member of The Vision that could last until Crown Jewel. This could help WWE build a multi-dimensional storyline where Cody Rhodes would be feuding with Seth Rollins on one hand, while Randy Orton feuds with Breaker or Reed on the other. WWE has been booking The Vision as a dominant threat ever since its inception, and a double feud involving its members could keep the group's momentum red hot. Bifurcate from Cody Rhodes' storyline and start a fresh feud. Randy Orton's association with Cody Rhodes, which was seen this week on SmackDown, could be a one-off. It could be just a way to bring the Viper back on television. Now that he returned, the 45-year-old could start a fresh feud with any other superstars on Raw or SmackDown. WWE is likely to use him strategically to maximize his star power while elevating younger or mid-card talent. Although Orton is a cornerstone of SmackDown, WWE's relaxed brand split allows him to feud on either roster. The Cody Rhodes moment this week perhaps served as a reintroduction for him. It gave the company creative freedom to pair the Apex Predator with new opponents across brands to refresh his character and avoid rehashing past storylines. Sowing the seeds of Randy Orton's heel turn. Randy Orton's feud with Cody Rhodes has been long overdue, and it could begin now that the former is back. WWE could keep the two superstars involved in the current storyline with The Vision, with the ultimate goal being to sow the seeds of Orton's heel turn. The Viper could pretend to be on Rhodes' side, acting as his most trusted ally throughout the build of Crown Jewel. However, this could eventually lead to the much-awaited moment fans have been clamoring for. Randy Orton could backstab the American returning WWE superstar to help Dominic Mysterio retain the Intercontinental title. Exploring the possibility Dominic Mysterio is the reigning WWE Intercontinental and AAA Mega Champion. He is scheduled to defend his IC title against Rusev on next week's episode of Raw. However, while fans are expecting the younger Mysterio to lose the gold on the show, he might retain it in a shocking twist. Thanks to the potential return of a superstar, Liv Morgan is the star in question. She suffered a dislocated shoulder in a match against Kairi Sane on the June 16th episode of Monday Night Raw. Hence, she relinquished the Women's Tag Team Championship and has been sidelined since then. However, Morgan has recently dropped a major tease regarding her return. In a shocking turn of events, she might finally make her comeback next week on the Red brand during the Intercontinental Championship match to help Dirty Dom retain the title against Rusev. The 31-year-old shared a romantic relationship with Dominic Mysterio in the Stamford-based promotion before taking a break from WWE TV due to injury. Given this situation, Liv Morgan might seek to reunite with Dominic upon her return, and helping him retain the IC title could be an ideal way to strengthen their on-screen relationship. However, while this angle might sound convincing, it is speculative as of this writing and nothing has been confirmed. Morgan's return has not yet been announced. Dominic Mysterio to leave the Judgment Day after Liv Morgan's potential return. There has been increasing tension within the Judgment Day for the past few weeks on Raw, as Finn Balor and JD McDonough appear to be uncomfortable with Dominic Mysterio's unexplained relationship with El Grande Americano. McDonough faced off against Rusev on the latest episode of the Monday Night Show, where he tapped out while being locked in the accolade by the Bulgarian Brute. However, the 39-year-old powerhouse continued to apply the Accolade submission hold on JD while Dominic watched without intervening. Given this situation, Dirty Dom might finally decide to back off from the villainous stable, especially after the potential return of Liv Morgan. While the latter could be angry with the Judgment Day for easily replacing her with a rookie like Roxanne Perez, she's likely to leave the faction along with the younger Mysterio. That said, this angle is also speculative and nothing has been confirmed.